So I think that we could all agree here that Meghan Markle is by far one of the fakest individuals out there, whether it's in the film industry or whether it's in the television business or anything to do with her being in the public eye. We know that all of her shows out there have been universally rejected by the general public, and the latest example is Netflix with the upcoming series called Love, Meghan. It focuses on her life with gardening, cooking, etc., and it's already gaining world-breaking backlash that we have never seen before in Meghan Markle's career, if you want to put it that way. And basically, a lot of things have been going on between herself and Netflix, and how she's taking the backlash, her behavior towards the backlash, is actually on a whole new level. Let's get into this, shall we? This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, Meghan Markle, we know that she, throughout the years, has been going through a series of outrage moments. She's been getting a lot of backlash going along with that, and the latest example has a lot to do with the upcoming Netflix show, Love, Meghan. Now, what's interesting about this is that we know that this show is the fakest thing as it gets, right? Nobody wants to see Meghan Markle on Netflix. Nobody wants to hear about her. Nobody wants to even acknowledge her at this point. Now, what's interesting about this, yet again, is that we know that Netflix CEO and its various studio executives over there, I think, made the worst decision by greenlighting this disaster and putting it out there into the public. Really believing that it would be a success is beyond me. But let's jump into what's really going on here and her behavior toward the backlash, and how it's really beginning to go out of control, and it sounds like an unstoppable snowball at this point. So, with Meghan Markle's new Netflix series already gaining so much backlash through a combination of its fakeness and just how universally rejected she is in the public eye, one major development now involves Meghan's response toward all the criticism toward her new Netflix series and her reaction. A crucial update to this situation now involves how there was a recent moment of outrage coming from Meghan Markle individually and her entire team, who is now firing back at Netflix, where Meghan is reacting to the backlash from the public and demanding Netflix, get this, to fire the entire marketing team for her new show, Love, Meghan. The blame game goes even further beyond this, where Meghan and her team are now seriously pressuring the Netflix studio executives to turn off comments on the trailer for the Love, Meghan show on the official Netflix channel that is set to debut, by the way, on January 15th. Already, Netflix CEO Greg Peters is getting involved in the drama, where of course he is trying to stabilize this entire situation after Meghan Markle is now calling for the entire marketing team handling the Love, Meghan show to be instantly fired and replaced with a new marketing team as well. What's even more embarrassing of this drama happening that's sparking behind the scenes, of course at Netflix, between Markle and the Netflix executives, is that she is demanding to handpick her very own marketing team for future TV spots for Love, Meghan, along with remaking the entire trailer for Love, Meghan as soon as possible, and is pressuring Netflix to delay the series from January 15th until sometime in February to give her some breathing room to straighten out the new marketing team. Now, so far, Netflix CEO Greg Peters and all of the studio execs there are now left at a standstill, where they are instantly refusing and not falling into Markle's demands. This is the latest failure coming from Netflix, especially after the buffering issues that happened during the Mike Tyson fight. I don't know if you guys got that, but a lot of people sure did. Now it has gone to a point where the Netflix board of directors are getting involved and are pressuring Greg Peters to make a deal with Meghan Markle, since she is already handing out warnings that she is willing to claim publicly that they used the worst takes and scenes in the trailer that backfired on her presentation for the show. It turns out that Meghan is claiming that the marketing team used rejected takes for the show in the trailer, where her acting wasn't quite on point and her presentation fell flat, and how she is claiming that this is why the trailer is getting the flack that it's getting, and that she was given false promises based on how the trailer would not only be edited, but also the day that it would be released. Now guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about Meghan Markle, is that she is by far the epitome of a control freak, alright? We know that behind the scenes she is and has been a disaster on various projects. This is just the latest example, and this is as bad as it gets. The point where you start demanding to the Netflix CEO, the studio executives over at Netflix, To fire the marketing team, that's one thing, but to actually demand that you handpick your own marketing team and that you give them the okay is a very interesting new level. That is really hitting a new low, and that really just goes to show you exactly how self-absorbed Meghan Markle and all these celebrities really are. I think that she's really at the top of the list, or at least near the top of the list there. You know, I think at the same exact time, Greg Peters is really in a stuck situation, because now the board of directors are getting involved, and we'll talk about this in just a second. And they run the show, by the way, right? The CEO, if you guys know anything, the CEO doesn't call all the shots. A lot of it has to do with the board. So the board is actually beginning to side with Meghan Markle on this one, and this is where it really begins to go out of control. So to go even further is that Netflix and its board of directors are now having serious conversations of turning off comments on the trailer and falling into those demands, and also hiring a whole new marketing team to remake the trailer, while at the same time doing the best that they can to not delay the show from the 15th of this month until sometime next month. This is best described as a production disaster, to say the least, and a marketing disaster right now for Meghan Markle, not just due to her lies, but also the intense backlash. Now, there is also a similar scenario of how something like this happened over at Disney/Lucasfilm. We had Leslie Headland, who fell into a very similar scenario, where she was very disappointed about the trailer about a Star Wars show called The Acolyte. She wanted the whole marketing team fired, and she got them fired, by the way. She got that wish of hers to come true. Now you have Meghan Markle doing something very similar to that. Whether or not she will succeed with her demands, that's all falling into the board right now. And I'm sure that Greg Peters is not happy about it. I'm sure that the Netflix executives, the studio heads over there, are also not happy about that. But look, we know at the same exact time, regardless, the show is not going to perform well. If you look at the comments, if you look at the ratio across all forms of social media, when I say ratio, for those of you that do not know what I'm talking about the likes versus dislikes, right? And that is basically your go-to source to see exactly how something is performing, or how liked or disliked something truly is. So this Love Meghan show, I think, is going to be probably one of the biggest failures of 2025's first quarter, and it's not going to be good on her track record for sure. And it really makes you wonder, will Netflix pick up on another show after this? Are they going to greenlight another show with Meghan Markle after Love Meghan? Really makes you wonder if they're going to go through with that again. So at the same exact time, this is typical celebrity drama. This is typical of these, you know, individuals that have such a self-absorbed personality, where they feel that they are running the show, they feel like they're a director, they feel like they're a producer, or that they can call the shots. We've seen many examples of this, like I just mentioned before about Leslie Headland. And so I think at the end of the day, this is going to be something very, very much interesting to watch about how much of a train wreck it's going to be. But overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.